Hello everybody, I'm Ghost Electricity and I am the current #1 rated Nameless sword and Twinblade user on the global server. And a common question I get asked is, what is my build? So I'm gonna show you guys today everything from my gear attunements to my Innerways to my mystic skills and my talents. So first off, the main question is, what are my Innerways? So the Innerways I run are Echoes of Oblivion, Tier 4, Fury Harvest, Tier 4, Morale Chant, Tier 4, and Evasive Charge, Tier 4. I also get asked, why don't I run Seasonal Edge? I don't really have an answer to that, but most people just told me if I run Twin Blades I should go Echoes of Oblivion. But they also said it's not good until Breakthrough Tier 4. So that's just what I decided to stick with. Fury Harvest, you use a lot of vitality during PvP. So getting that extra vitality for every action, like whether it's defense or attacking, it goes a long way and it helps a lot. Morale Chant is just a very good high DPS inner way to have. It gives you physical penetration and also increases your healing. And what that does with Twinblade is that during your Fury form, or the Flame Lash form, you also get extra healing in that, since that form heals you. And for the last one, Evasive Charge, I run it because the perfect dodge on heal helps a lot against the rat players. And also when people try to use Meridian Touch, the healing is nice that you get from it. You dodge a lot as well in PvP, so the reduced endurance cost, it helps you dodge a lot more, and it also refunds some. So to start off with my gear, I run the Swallow Call set. Using Dual Blade to auto a lot, or you use light attack a lot, so the bonus damage helps a lot. The attunement is 12 bonus cheat damage when hitting a non-defending unit with a counterattack skill. I personally prefer the one that gives you tenacity on the counterattack skill, but this one's also not that bad. For my longsword, this one have 50 endurance after casting execution. The one that gives you vitality is probably recommended. Either that or the one that does bonus cheat damage on defense break skill. And the reason I say that is because during your dual blade fury, the flame lash, you cannot get staggered. So a lot of people, after they see you use that, they'll try to block, and if you can land a good Yaksha or Talon Strike, it'll pretty much one-shot their chi bar. And it's very useful, and it catches a lot of people off guard. For my disc, I have the one where it's Addled Mind, which is the dual blade Q. If it hits an exhausted unit, your next execution skill deals 3% more damage, up to 10 stacks. So it just helps with DPS output. For my headpiece, it's actually the wrong one. Actually, no, that's right. When you remove stagger or crowd or control effect with Serene Breeze, you gain tenacity for 2 extra seconds. And this helps a lot for people that try to use a tenacity move after you use your Serene Breeze, and people that try to counter Serene Breeze right after you use yours. It catches them off guard and then lets you continue your offense. It also helps a lot against weapons that attack a lot. So let's say they try to use a, I think it's the Heaven Quaker. If they try to use the spear charge attack, the charge heavy, and you mess up the parry, you can just Serene Breeze it and get multiple parries for free after that. Next is my chest piece. I have the reduced damage taken by 20% when you're staggered. It's probably the best effect that you can have, because as soon as you get hit, most of the time you're considered staggered if you can't do anything, and it just pretty much reduces a full combo damage. My bracers, I have the one that recovers 12 chi upon successful deflection, and I really like this one because people tend to use their combos for too long sometimes. So the max combo duration if you have tier 2 Serene Breeze, which I'll get into that later, is 10 seconds. And sometimes people go over that and you can parry the last hit and not get executed. For my boots, after dodging an enemy attack, recover 6% of max HP. This helps a lot against people that use rats, Meridian touch, and just like dodging in general and getting healed from it is pretty huge. And that stacks with the Calm Water set, which performing a perfect dodge has a 50% chance to restore 3% of your max health and 10 endurance. And that also stacks with the tier 4 evasive charge, which heals you after a perfect dodge. So adding those up is like 10% max health heal every 10 seconds for perfect dodging. And my bow is just, well, my bow is kind of cracked, but bow and the ring, it doesn't really matter too much, but this is what I have for it. I use a divine charge bow, which most people don't use, but you can actually hit for a lot of damage if you use this. And this one increases the next shooting damage by 50%. The highest bow hit that I've done is probably around 14,000. And it does almost all of their chi damage, or their chi gauge. And a lot of people don't expect it. For my arsenal, I go bamboo. I just attack a lot with the dual blades, so I just figured this is probably the best one. I'm actually not sure on the math on everything, so don't like take my word for it. Like, don't take it as law. My arena talents, you pretty much have to get these at the start. You can just do like whatever you feel is best, because as you can see, like once you get towards the end, you'll have most of them maxed out anyway. But usually I just started with DPS things like precision rate, the crit rate, crit resistance, just like things that people will most likely get. And then, of course, for these, I went physical resistance, bamboo, and bell strike, just because bell strike and bamboo are like the main weapons that people use. So it's good to have defense against those. And for these, physical penetration, bamboo, penetration, bell strike, because you use the dual blade, which is bamboo, and the Nameless sword, which is bell strike. So I just went those. And this, the low chi protection. If you don't take any chi damage when the bar is below 30%, it says it recovers 2 per second, but we don't know if it's like a translation error or what, but it's more like it's up to 20 per second. And you'll see a lot of people, after not taking damage, they'll just start to regen their chi super fast. So when you see people low, you gotta try to at least hit them with an arrow to prevent the regeneration. And for this one, you become immune to fatal damage once, then recover 20% health and become immune to all damage for 1 second. So what you'll see a lot of people do is that if they can, they'll if they have someone exhausted, they'll try to deplete their health once to proc this, and then a split second later, they'll use their execution to bypass this. But one thing to note is that if this procs mid combo, sometimes it does end up dropping because of that. There are some cases where it doesn't. It's just something that you'll have to figure out, like, when it'll drop in, when it doesn't, through experience. So for my Mystic skills, I run Serene Breeze. This is absolutely mandatory if you want a PvP. I recommend it getting at least tier 2, which tier 2, it right here. When you are attacked or controlled for 10 seconds continuously in arena, you'll automatically break control and gain super armor. So that's what I was mentioning before, where if people combo you for too long, you break out automatically. And it's a passive, so it does not put Serene Breeze on cooldown. And if it's already on cooldown, it's completely separate, so you'll still break out at CC. And I don't think I touched on Serene Breeze enough, but a lot of people wonder, like, why they get staggered for so much and why it can't do anything. And they don't know that Serene Breeze is how you get out of it. If Serene Breeze is down, I recommend you play safe, because if you get caught again within a cooldown, there's pretty much nothing you can do unless they drop their combo. I recommend, if you do get caught without it, you just spam Drunken Poet or so, just in case they drop their combo. So whenever you get caught by any CC, as you can see here, it'll break it and you can move again. Dragon's Breath, this is also pretty mandatory. It does a lot of damage, and it gives you tenacity, which means you can't be staggered by most things. The only things that could stop it are things like Nameless Spear Q or Fan Knockup or Umbrella Stun and things like that. But everything else, like if you are getting attacked, you won't get staggered and you'll still be able to move. On my 3, I have Soaring Spin. This is pretty much a combo extender for Twinblade Q. So if you're comboing and then you land a Twinblade Q, you can always go into Soaring Spin for a true combo. The only thing is that you have to have it, I believe it's tier 3, which adds a cancel point after the first thrust, allowing the skill to be interrupted. So if you don't have it, it'll do both hits like this, but the second part will not be a true combo. So having tier 3, you'll be able to cancel after this first part and continue your combo. On my 4, I have Leaping Toad. I recommend getting this to tier 3. And tier 3, if you hit it, it gives them 2 debuffs. So the first debuff, after a bit, it explodes and you can combo off of it in like a very short window. But then if it's tier 3, they have to watch out for that twice. This can be parried and they can dodge the debuff explosion. So you have to try to time your attacks with it to where they can't dodge it, or you just have to play around it. And this is good because you use it in a lot of the combos with the Nameless Sword and Twinblade. You can check my combo guide out if you need to know what combos. And it also does a lot of damage. For my Alt 1, I have Free Morph. You can cancel this or you can cancel a Twinblade Q with this into a combo, and it's also used as a combo finisher. You can't really do it off of the fourth Twinblade auto. You can, but the timing is really tight. So usually you just Q into a free morph. This is not so much needed as the other ones, but it's still really nice to have. For my alt 2, I have Ghostly Steps. I also recommend this because you can weave in autos while dodging, and it stacks up your charge for your Flame Lash. This also helps a lot with the perfect dodging. It helps with your gear and your evasive charge. It makes it a lot easier to get the perfect dodges. And it also reduces the endurance for your dodges, so you can do it more often. This is really necessary against rat players. Rat is rope dart Twinblade players. When they summon rats, you can heal a lot off of the rats if you're low HP. So what you'll usually see me do is if my chi is low against rat players, the rats will for sure break your chi. So you should just pop this and focus on dodging and try to get as much health as you can from them. This also helps against people that shoot a lot of arrows. You can perfect dodge and close the gap with this as well. My alt 3 is Drunken Poet. I recommend this as well because it gives you tenacity and it works well with Dragon's Breath, as you see here. So if you combine this with Dragon's Breath and you punch them, it becomes unblockable, which you can combo off of. People can parry it, but I have trouble parrying it because I feel like it changes the parry timing if they're on fire compared to without. I'm not sure if that's just a me thing or if that's actually how it is, but it does a lot of damage and a lot of chi damage as well. So I recommend this with Dragon's Breath. And for my last one, I use Yaksha Rush. You at least need this or Talent Strike. And what these do is if people are blocking or parrying, it'll defense break them. And it'll do a ton of chi damage. I prefer Yaksha Rush over Talent Strike right now, just because this is more punishing if you land it. This silences and it also goes super far if it's tier 4. As you can see here, it increases the dash distance by 2 meters. Talent Strike, where is it? Talent Strike is faster, but if people get hit by this, they can still Serene Breeze out of it. But if they get hit by Yaksha Rush, they can't. You should only use one of these because they share the same cooldown. Fan players, sometimes they have both, which is the only exception, but you should definitely only pick one. Now, some people might wonder why I don't have Meridian Touch when most people do run it. And that's just because I find Yaksha Rush to do pretty much the same thing as Meridian Touch. And it does not have a chance of people dodging and healing off of it if they're in execute range. And I'll show you some clips as well as like what I'm talking about. And if people jump in the air, you also have Nameless Sword Q to catch them. So after you pop your Flame Lash, your Twinblade Flame Lash, a lot of people will try to jump and you just catch them with Nameless Sword. This is also a PSA. Do not use Wolflike Frenzy or Cloud Step. These are actually so bad to use in PvP. Once you get to a certain point, people will start to punish you use in Cloud Step. I see a lot of people thinking that these are good, but if someone uses Cloud Step, they can just parry it and get a free combo off of you. And Wolflike Frenzy, they can just block and Divine Counter or parry it. So this is also not good. I think the reason why people would think Cloud Steps is good is because people in China use it, but they play a completely different game than us and can cancel Cloud Step, so it's not as bad to use for them. I think also they use it for the other game modes like 2v2, 3v3, and all of those because they can easily jump on another player. But as I said before, they can cancel the Cloud Step into a jump. So it's a lot better for them to use and not for us. And that is the end of my PvP build guide. These are the weapons that are used to hit rank 1 for some time and stay top 10 consistently on a global server. I hope it helped you guys out a lot, and if you have any questions you can hit me up on my stream or put a comment down in the comment section and I will help you out the best I can. I appreciate all the support as always, and I hope to see you guys another time. Later.